This week's workout is all about becoming a better mover, not just completing another Pilates workout. Hi everyone, welcome back to Function Pilates. I'm Vanessa Kelly, and today we're stepping onto the tower, one of my favorite pieces of Pilates equipment because it gives us something incredibly valuable: feedback. The springs don't just provide resistance, they provide information. They help us recognize when we're relying on momentum instead of control, when we've lost our alignment, and when we've found the right balance between strength and support. So as we move through today's intermediate workout, I encourage you to shift your focus. And we are going to be using a ball, so have one of those handy. If you don't have one, not to worry at all. Instead, I just want you to become very curious. So notice what your body is telling you. Where do you feel stable? Where do you need more support? And where can you create more length, like more control and more awareness in your body? So those are the things that truly change the way you move. And the goal isn't just to learn more exercises. The goal is to become better at understanding your own body. So that's why I encourage you to experience all of the Pilates apparatuses. The reformer, chair, Cadillac, I'm working on a tower today, and even the mat, each offers something different. They challenge your body in unique ways, and they provide different types of support and resistance and expand your understanding of how your body moves. So some days your body needs more support, other days it's ready for more of a challenge, and sometimes you're recovering from an injury, and other times you're working toward a specific goal. So having a variety of movement experiences give you the tools to meet your body where it is instead of expecting your body to fit into one way of moving. So that's where the real progress begins. So if today's workout inspires your next step, whether that's moving more, becoming a Pilates instructor, or continuing your education, or investing in your own Pilates equipment, you'll find all of those resources linked in the description below. So I truly love to be a part of your Pilates journey. So let's go ahead and move with intention and discover what the tower has to teach us today. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start with a warm up, and we're gonna use the roll up bar. So have that handy, and then we'll go ahead and take a forward position here and place your feet up against the outer poles. Make sure that your body is centered as well, and that you're sitting at the very tops of your tailbone. So my hands are on the very outside of the eyelets here, and we're going to sitting arms, okay? So with sitting arms, I really want you to focus on having a nice tall spine. If you can't get the legs exactly straight because of tight hamstrings or whatever the case may be, if you have sciatica, let's do a soft bend to the knees, because more importantly, I want you guys to have this upright position of the spine, okay? So from this position, I'm gonna have you go ahead and think about pressing with your abdominal muscles and the outside of your back muscles as you press into the roll-up bar, and then start to release everything. So it's so intentional, it's so specific, and notice as you're pressing down, it's like your top of the head is reaching towards the ceiling to create more elongation in your body, so you're not collapsing through the chest or through the spine, I should say. And again, deep breath here, inhale to prepare, exhale, draw those abs in, activate and engage the outer part of your back muscle, so like right below your armpit, and then start to really release and hold. So this is one of those undervalued exercises, I feel like, because a lot of people want to think that they're using their arms in this exercise. It's really not about the arms. This is an abdominal exercise. So let's go 5 more here, okay? So inhaling here, exhale. Grow taller, grow taller, grow taller, and releasing it. Good. And again, exhale, using your abs, using your lat muscles to grow taller, gain a little bit more height. 3 more. And again, we press down. And the warm-up is all about creating internal awareness so that we can just already focus on that feeling of connection in our midsection, so that we're able to integrate it into every other exercise that we do going forward. Good, last time. Exhale. And then releasing it. Beautiful. Okay, let's go ahead and release that all the way, and we're gonna go into a little bit of chest lift with the push-through bar, but today, we're not using any springs. So you guys are gonna use the push-through bar, but no springs are gonna be attached, so you're gonna use your own body weight here, okay? So grab a hold of that. Let's go ahead and lie on our back. And it's really more of just like having this connection of holding on to something. It kind of plays tricks with your mind. So let's just see if you feel a difference here. So let's go ahead and hold on to the push through bar. Let's angle ourselves here where the wrists are just slightly in front of our shoulders. And then I am in a hook line position. Let's try that for now, where the knees are bent, feet are parallel. Take an inhale to prepare, and exhale. We're just gonna curl up to where our shoulder blades are at here, okay? So shoulders down and back, pause, eyesight down at your belly button, and then lower it down. So let's try this. Let's actually really think about our body being so heavy and that we're pressing against this push through bar with resistance in order to feel the deeper connection and the internal heat in the midsection. Okay, so it takes some thought process. Inhale here, exhale. And lower. And repeat. Exhale. And repeat. Nice and easy. Let's take it for 4. Really gentle with the neck here. So try to eliminate any unwanted tension. And release. Exhale, let's curl it up. And notice your shoulders, are they creeping up? Drop them down and release it. Beautiful. Okay, so then from here, we're gonna go ahead and take our left hand. You're gonna flip the palm so that it's facing you. Take your right hand behind your head. If you wanna grip the bar, that's totally fine as well. We're adding rotation here, okay? So what that means is that you're going to flex up and rotate to the right here as you're supporting your head with your right hand, but your left arm is gonna stay straight, okay? So notice if you have any bend to it and try to eliminate that. And rotate. And down. Good. Keep the right elbow wide so that you're not pulling onto the neck. Of course, if you wanted to make this even more challenging, these warm-up exercises, we could have done this into tabletop position. But for today, since this is pretty much the first time I think I've introduced the no spring onto the channel, I want to keep a nice basic hook line position. So we can really focus in on the spinal rotation and then the emphasis of the obliques working here. We got 2 more. And inhale down, exhale. And try to keep the quietness in your lower body. And then right down. Good. So again, this is just our warm up. We're just trying to create some heat in our body, get the body moving in some different directions. So left hand is behind the head, supporting the head. Right palm is looking at you now. So again, focus on the right arm, the right elbow not bending. And you're not pulling on the bar. I should have said that previously. So yeah, think about that too. And lift, rotate. New side, new set of tightness, weakness, more flexibility. So again, trying to pay attention to if your legs or your knees are moving. How can we create more hip stability here? And release. And nice and slow. Try not to rush through this, because you guys will notice, right? As we slow things down, you can feel more of the challenge develop. Good. And take it for 5. Think of pressing weight down into your feet even further. See if that creates a little bit more connection. 3. And 2. Elbow wide on that left side. Sometimes we don't realize that it's like creeping in on us. And release it down. Beautiful. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're gonna set ourselves up for footwork. So we'll go bottom loaded here. And again, for those, I am working on a balanced body piece of equipment here today. So I'm gonna attach my push through bar to about the second position on the safety strap, okay? And I'm gonna be using my medium and my light spring. So we'll attach the red spring on, and then I will adjust my blue spring, which is the light spring, and I'm gonna attach that as well so that we have a little bit more weight here. Okay, so once we're all situated here, we're gonna lie down. We're gonna take footwork from this position where head's gonna be over here. Have your ball handy too. Actually, I'm gonna grab mine right now. And go ahead, lie yourself down. And we'll go ahead and carefully start to press this up. And I lost the ball. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna start here with our toes on, and I'd like to place the ball right there between the thighs. So you're gonna have a little bit more than hip distance apart if you need to. Tailbone again is gonna anchor themselves down. So really pointing out, point your toes up towards the ceiling for me and focus on equal distance there with your bar, okay? So you don't wanna feel like your feet are more to the left side or to the right side. Little glance here, aligned here on the mat. And then we'll start to soften the knees. So we're gonna bend the knees, think tailbone connecting down, and then exhale, press up. So I like the ball, again, because I'm a big fan of it, really teaching you not to bring your knees all the way into your chest, to stay in a position where we have that alignment so that we can feel those hamstrings do a lot of this work. That's mainly the muscle focus here. And it'll go down into the glutes as well. So nice and easy. You can notice range of motion isn't completely, there's not a ton of it, right? And press and down. And I'm reminding myself to press my low back down so that my tailbone can still be grounded here. So again, think about how that's feeling in your body. And reach two more. And last time. Good. And then let's go ahead and bring it up to our heels. Okay, so a little bit deeper stretch there, right? That's why we started with the toes. So, especially if you're feeling tight, definitely start with the toes instead of the heels. And then let's go ahead, flex the feet. So we're dorsiflex at the ankle, and then you're pressing upward. And think of really opening up through the back of the knees as you're doing this. Just sending that energy from your heels towards the ceiling. And bend, and exhale, press. Good. And I like this because it really allows you to focus on opposition, where your tailbone has to connect to the mat as your heels are reaching towards the ceiling. So if you notice like any shifting occurring, that would be your indication to maybe soften the range of motion. Even though it probably doesn't look like I'm doing much here, I can feel this a lot. Not only stretching the hamstrings, but working the muscles as well. And press 3 and 2. Good, one more. And you can feel the inner thighs, right, with the ball. And 1. Okay, so from here, I'm gonna remove the ball. I'm gonna set that to the side. And then on here, we're gonna go ahead, take it down for a second. I just wanna get you guys into position. We're gonna take it over to hip opener, all right? So I'm gonna stay on my heavier spring tension, but if you need to reduce your tension, go ahead, come down to either a medium or a light spring, And then I'm gonna place, let's go ahead and place our toes right at the center here. I'm gonna hold on to the outer pole. All right, so you can have a bent elbow, a bent knee, or you can have an extended leg here, all right? So pointing, and then you're going to bend. Actually, I'm gonna bring my elbow back so you guys can see a little bit better. But think of knee to your shoulder and extend. Good, abs are in. Let's really think about lifting the obliques off the mat and press. So this is getting deep into the outer hips, into the glutes. Phenomenal stretch if you can handle that. And keeping your chest open. And we have another 5 and 4 and 3, 2, good, last time, and 1. All right, and then carefully bringing that down, and we'll flip to the other side here. Okay, so I'd encourage you to stick with the same weight, obviously, unless like you have some sort of injury or you know that side is gonna be weaker. And then let's go ahead and take it up and line yourself up again. I like to take my foot to the very, like as far to the corner as possible is gonna make that easier on you. If it's in the center, you're gonna feel a deeper stretch there as well. Okay, and I'm just focusing on stacking my hips a little bit neatly, and then point those toes and bend. So think knee to shoulder. And then really engaging through the hips here as you're just like kind of pushing this heavy box away. And exhale, chest is lifted, abs are drawn in. We're doing the work. We're really getting our entire body involved here. Good, we got 5 and 4. Good. 3. Exhale, 2. Nice. 1 more. And carefully, let's bring it back down. Nice. And then go ahead and turn to your back once again. All right. So from here, let's go ahead and find ourselves. I want to make sure I'm centered, and then we'll place our toes back on. So we'll come back to this position. And honestly, like it should feel a little lighter, right? Like you stretched out quite a bit. So from here, let's go ahead, take your arms on beside you. We're gonna go into calf raises. So flex the feet, point the toes. We flex and point. So the one thing about this, honestly, this type of positioning where my head, where I'm placed right now, head underneath the foot bar, is definitely more challenging. It does take a deeper pull on those hamstrings, especially if you're tight. So if this is too much for you, flip yourself so your head's on that side, and then this way you're working with the foot bar in a different angle. And flex and point. And let's take it for another 5. Good. 4. 3. 2. Good. Shoulders down and soften last time. And let's bring it back down and carefully release that. Okay, let's go into some roll-up bottom loaded. So I'm just going to remove my blue spring. So I have 1 medium spring on. And if you're all about having heavier springs with bottom loaded, go for it. But for me today, I'm just gonna do the medium spring. So let's take our arms up, nice and straight. Let's go ahead and have our legs out long. Let's point through those toes. Let's take an inhale to prepare, and then start to move and articulate the body as we pull ourselves up into a nice tall position here, okay? And then from here, C-curve it, so scoop that belly, start to lie yourself back down one by one. Head's the last thing to come down. All right, so let's tune into our deep core muscles here. Inhaling, knit the ribs, exhale it up. Hold at the top, drop the shoulders down, and then exhale, knitting the ribs, pull it down nice and slow, gently allowing your body to fall back. Good, 3 more. So there's a nice pause at the top here. And then watch the wrist here, just double check. And down. Good, last time. And final one to rest. With control, putting the brakes on and release it. Beautiful job. Okay, let's carefully come out of there. And let's go top load it. Let's do some teaser top loaded, all right? So first things first, let's take the spring off. And I'm going to be using the blue spring. So I'm sorry, the light spring I should say, but blue if you're working with balance body. The light spring because it's gonna feel harder, right? It's less resistant, so it's not helping you. And you're required to use more of your own body weight. So let's go for it. Let's see. And I like to put this away. It drives me nuts when it's hanging down. I like everything really clean. So, okay, let's go ahead and take ourselves back down. Let's grab our ball again. And let's place it between the ankles. All right, so from here, grab a hold of your push-through bar, adjust your body positioning. Let's find tabletop there with the legs. So balls between the ankles. All right. So nice deep breath. Before we were using bottom loaded against the resistance. Now we're using our own body weight for this, all right? So inhale to prepare and exhale, we curl all the way up and we take it into our first teaser and then start to lower it back down, drawing those knees back over the hips. And we got this. Curl it up and then back down. Good. Feel that ball, your ankle squeezing into the ball and release it down. Beautiful. And let's take it for 3. Exhale for 2. Feeling that heat in our midsection. Kind of hard not to. And 1. Let's hold it at the top here, okay? Let's squeeze the ball in for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's bend in and lower back down. Beautiful, beautiful job. Okay, set the ball down. You guys can release that. And let's go into a crescent stretch. So much needed crescent stretch here. So that's going back to using the roll-up bar. So have that handy for you. And we're gonna place our feet up against the outer poles. Let's hold on to the roll-up bar with your left hand, right hand on your belly. All right, so from here, we're gonna do a nice roll down, slow, 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 slow. Try to balance out the bar like it's a steering wheel. Lower yourself down. Take your right arm, just go ahead and kind of banana your shape over to the left. Take your right ankle over your left ankle, and then you turn your eyesight to look up at your elbow and get long out through that right side as much as possible. Keep breathing. Just feel the entire right side of yourself opening up, getting a nice stretch through that side from between your rib cage, from your obliques, down even into your hip flexor if you guys feel that. And if you even are tight, you're gonna feel in your IT band down to your ankle. So come back with the right foot to the outer pole. Find that. Readjust yourself through center. Hand over belly. And then really nice and slow, let's control ourselves as we begin to come back up. Beautiful. Okay, let's take it to the other side. So love those. That's our crescent stretch. Nice deep breath here. And again, we're gonna roll it down nice and slow. Keep that nice balance on our bar. Once our head has hit the mat, we're gonna turn our upper body to the right-hand side. Bring that arm back. Take our left ankle over the right ankle. And then let's turn our eyesight to the left elbow and get long. And yes, you can feel the difference, most likely on each side. I know I can. This one is a lot tighter than my right side was. And it's good. Like, I don't know if I would notice this in a reformer, like an exercise, like not to this extent. That's why I love exploring with the different apparatuses and exercise, because they're designed for us to, again, receive information of our body. Another deep breath. Let's go ahead and take the foot back to the outer pole. Just go ahead and shimmy yourself back to the center here. And then when you're ready, nice and slow with control, still abdominal work here, right? And bring yourself back up. Perfect. Very nice, very nice. All right, let's go into some hip strengthening here. So we're gonna go ahead. I already have my springs set up. I'm on the center eyelet, like the mid-height eyelet. That's like a really good default setting. I have the yellow long springs on with Balanced Body. These are the lighter springs. If I wanted to have heavier springs, those would be the purple springs, but you guys know your own piece of equipment. I'm gonna just go with the lighter springs today, okay? Just because you're gonna still feel the work. You're gonna still feel the exercise. All right, lie ourselves down. And then the rule of thumb to get ourselves into place is to take our arms out nice and long, and that's our placement. Let's go ahead and take the feet in. And this is where the independent springs come in so handy, because you have nothing to rely on except your own muscle engagement here. All right, so we're gonna go into walking. Let's go ahead and start to drop one leg a little bit further than the other leg. I guess I should say right leg's gonna go further than the left leg, then drop the left leg further than the right, then the right goes further than the left goes further than the right goes further than the left, okay? So from here, we don't wanna lose our neutral spine, neutral pelvis. Let's walk it nice and slow up. So we're going up, 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 and up. So nice and easy. All hamstrings, inner thighs. Exhale, 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 exhale. Inhale, 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 inhale. That's the breath, okay? Let's try that again. Exhale, 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 exhale. Inhale, 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 inhale. Good. Let's do that again 2 more times on your own. One more. And hold. All right, let's go into helicopter. So we're gonna go ahead and start with an L shape here. So one leg is down, one leg is up. You're gonna take your legs out to a T, and then you're going to propel them back through the center and add a scissor. Good. And take it around So this is where the hips can get a little wonky, right? So if you need some reminder, take those hands to your hips to stabilize so they're not out of control, and send it around. But it's kind of fun. It's nice. If you like coordination, you're gonna love this. And take it around. But again, don't let the springs control you. It can be a hot mess if you let those springs control you because they're so independent. That's where you have to be the one to rely on your muscle engagement, your abdominal muscles. Good. And then take it around. Let's reverse it, okay? So let's go out and flip it and then scissor. And let's go out and flip it and scissor. Okay, sometimes this can get a little goofy. If you're like, wait a minute, what did I just do? So take your time with it. So good for the brain, right? And around. And up. Good. And 2. Excellent. Last time. And hold. Good. Okay, let's go into some Peter Pan. So we're gonna start by having our heels together, our toes apart. Let's send the legs off to the side. Right leg's going off to the side, left leg is going to bend. Exhale back through center. Right leg's going to bend, left leg's gonna go out to the side and through center. And again, over and exhale. And over and through center. And take it over and through center. Beautiful. And one more each way. And then hold center for me. Excellent. Let's take our arms right here. Keep that tension at a nice 45-degree angle. Allow those arms to stay right here above. You know what we're going through. We're gonna go into hundreds. So you're gonna curl your head and chest up onto your shoulder blades. We're pausing right here, and we're gonna start to pump those arms. Inhaling for 5 counts, exhaling for 5 counts. How quiet can we keep the legs here as we really focus in on that midsection, developing the heat? Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 9, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 4, 5. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last time. And start to lower yourself back down, and then bend your knees to return back in. Beautiful, and release it. Okay, let's sit ourselves up, and we're gonna go into a little bit of spinal articulation. So let's go into some parakeet right now. We're gonna take this top loaded, all right? So with this, we're gonna actually face the push through bar. So we're gonna go ahead and lie ourselves down to a point and having that ball handy one more time. Let's take our feet through. This is gonna go right there at the knees. All right, so parakeet. Great spinal articulation exercise here, guys. So you're gonna go ahead and have your toes on that bar. And I'm just double checking. I wanna make sure I'm centered. All right, so you're gonna begin by straightening your legs. Get a nice squeeze there with that ball, okay? And then you're gonna start to peel your spine off the mat as you go ahead and come up all the way to your shoulder blades here, okay? So you're holding that position. Let's begin to bend the knees, right? So you're gonna feel the work here through those hamstrings. And then you're gonna go ahead and start to straighten your legs back up. That's it. And then lower your spine all the way back down. Good. Okay, let's try that again. So inhaling to prepare and exhale to peel up. Once you're there at the top, let's bend the knees Again, to the point where you can feel like it's hit. Like if I let go, that's like the stopping point right there. And then let's go ahead and straighten the legs. And then start to lower your spine back down again. Good. And another one, deep breath, articulate. Using your arms and your hands as leverage here. Nice soft collarbone. Bend. Feel those hamstrings. So good. And let's extend. Hips are lifted, nice and elevated. And then lower back down. All right. One more. Deep breath. Exhale, peel it up. Hold it at the top. We bend. Good. Extend. And then lower it down. Excellent. Such a great spinal articulation exercise. Lots of hamstrings, right? Kind of like when we do bridging on the reformer, and then with that nice sense of the ball between our inner thighs, we are really feeling the work there. Okay, so the next exercise I want to do is just a spine stretch forward. It's well deserved at this point. So we're already set up for that. So you guys can face your push through bar again, having your feet on the outer side of the poles. And we're gonna sit up nice and tall. Let's take a grab here of the push through bar. And then from here, let's go ahead. It's a really light spring. So let's go ahead and tuck our tailbone under, scoop. So you're like leaning back. And then you're gonna dive yourself forward without bending your elbows, without using your arms. You're using your abs to press it through. And deep breath here. Pushing the backs of those knees down and slowly start to bring it back. And then let's send it forward. Get a nice, extend the spine here as we frame those ears. And then again, round out, tuck your tailbone, shoulders drop, and press on through. Good. And exhale nice and slow. So yes, it's a stretch. It's also a full body work exercise. So we're integrating different muscle groups together. It's also, if you think about this, like the mat exercise, spine stretch forward, right? Except now we have some different resistance, which I think this is harder because you have to really put the focus in on your abs doing the work. And let's take it. Or at least we can have that sense of creation. Two more. And bring it back. Nice. And do you feel like you're getting a little further with each one here? And bring it all the way nice and slow. Nice. And then release it. Okay, so we're gonna go into some shoulder adduction and some scapula glides. So first, I'm gonna start facing the function sign. I want you guys to focus in and pay attention to what's occurring in my shoulder blade. That's the idea. These exercises really help to realign the shoulder area, create more mobility, especially if you feel like you have stiff shoulders, a frozen shoulder. You know, a lot of us we work on a computer, we work at our desk, we drive a car, we cook, things like that. There's so many things in this 4x4 box that we need to, again, create movement in the shoulder blade, okay? So I'm gonna face the function sign. I'm gonna grab a hold of my ball, and this is gonna go between the knees so that I can create a little bit more pelvic floor connection here too. So feet are grounded. And then let's go ahead and start to think about, I'm gonna actually scoot back a tiny bit. So I'm not gripping this, all right? What I'm doing is I want to have a 90-degree angle at the shoulder, and I want to focus on pulling my shoulder blade into the spine. So I'm not pulling with my arm, I'm actually letting that work come from my shoulder blade. So very different feeling, and it could be hard, it could be exhausting, especially if you have limited movement there. And release. And glide it on back. And release. Good. 6 more. Nice and tall, straight ahead. And 5. Try to relax your right shoulder. 3. Exhale, 2. And 1. And relax it there. Good. So from here, we're gonna go ahead and take it to the other side. So turn yourself around, keep your ball with you. Let's go ahead and send it right in between. Let's hold on. Okay, nice and squared here. And again, my shoulder blade is gonna be doing the work as I pull it in and release it. Try to stay in, I almost like to be in the center of the bar. And release. And I know for me, I was moving a little bit more freely on that left side, but I'm right-handed. So it's like you can feel the difference, right? Like, ooh, it's like a little stickier. It's just not moving as easy as the other side maybe, or if you're left-handed, you might feel this, the left side was like harder. But what tends to happen is because of our dominant side, we'll start to round a little bit more through that shoulder. And so with that rounding, the front side of our chest is gonna get tighter, and then the back side is gonna get weaker. So there's just this sense of disconnection, of not being able to really strengthen that area. So that's why it's so important to put that focus in on. And take it for another 4. And then again, take a pause if you need to. If you're like, ooh, I feel like things are just, you know, I'm trying to, maybe you're trying to help and compensate. So take some time, take a breather. 2. Good, last time. Excellent. Okay, and then from here, let's go ahead and I'm gonna drop this down. We're gonna do some butterflies. So we're gonna use our springs. I would suggest this time going into the lighter springs, and what's gonna happen is, actually let's straddle here. So when the loops are right above your elbows, find a good amount of distance, because these are the leg springs, they're long springs I should say. We gotta scoot ourselves back in order to feel that tension. I'm just gonna straddle. Right now the most important thing is me focusing on my upper portion, but again, nice and tall for me. And then I want you to think about the back of your shoulder doing the work here, and then releasing it, okay? So exhale. Very different feeling if you guys have done butterfly with me on the reformer. Such a different feeling. And you might even notice, like, look at your arms. Is one leading the way faster than the other one? And then that is information to understand too. That's what I love with the independent springs on the Tower Cadillac. They just teach you things that make you want to slow down. And close. Good. Exhale. And hopefully you guys are feeling that nice heat, that sensation from our scapular glides. And open. Good. Let's take it for another 2. And 1 more. And release it. Beautiful. Okay, let's give that a little break. Let's go ahead and set those down. And we're gonna go into a little sideline series here, additional legs. So let's go ahead and grab a hold of our front loop, placing that into the arch. Again, I'm going to be about an arm distance apart and keeping your bottom leg straight if you can. Let's extend. So the thing is that we want to emphasize the pulling down here and not let the spring just shoot our leg up, right? So let's go ahead and just kind of reach. So if I'm here, you can see it almost looks like my top leg is shorter than my bottom leg. Not the case. So I want you guys to think about reaching your top leg out of your hip and see the difference where that creates that mouse house right here. You can even hold on for balance. And then you're gonna send your leg forward and exhale, point to come back. And flex and point to come back. And flex. Yes, nice and stable through the hips. So this is helping to get the glutes stronger, also to promote more hip strengthening. And exhale, pull back. Good. And 3. Try not to let the leg fall down. It should never touch the bottom leg. 2. And 1. Hold. Let's take it up. Exhale, press down. And up. Exhale, press down. 6. 5. Good. Resisting those springs. Really working the outer hip. Really working the inner thigh as you pull down. Good. 2. And then stay holding right above the bottom leg. Okay, let's go into hot potato. So you're gonna point your toes. You're internally rotated on this top leg. We're gonna tap, and then you're gonna tap behind, and tap in front, and tap behind. This is where it can get, again, a little goofy with the hips if we're not super stable. So hips are completely stacked, and this is where we can really isolate into the glute muscle even more. And tap. And tap. Beautiful. Exhale. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Let's bring it all the way forward. And let's take it to the other side. And again, find yourself about an arm distance away from the outer pole. Placing your loop into your foot. And stack those hips nice and long with that bottom leg for stabilization, and rest your ear into your bicep. So extend out. Again, we want to think about reaching out of that top hip here, and then starting to bring it forward, and then press it back. I'm going to scoot back a little bit more. And pull back. So again, you guys could use the heavier weights, heavier spring tension if you so called to it. Even if it's not today, if you come back to this workout and you're like, oh, you know what? I am going to try the heavier weights. I have a lot of energy today. Great. Go for it. And that's the nice thing is like, even your body can show up so differently. And if you're like, God, well, I was using the heavier springs, you know, several weeks in a row, and now I just like, Today it just felt like extra heavy. It's totally fine. That's just our bodies responding to like, you know, whatever's going on. You know, it could be like a really hard week mentally, and so it's draining your body physically. Again, you have to remember Pilates is a mind-body experience, so we want to keep that in mind. And let's take it for 2. And last time. Excellent. And then hold here. Let's go ahead and bring it up, resisting those springs, and pull down. And up and down. Beautiful. And if you guys, if this is your first time tuning in, I do have other tower workouts here on the channel, so feel free to check those out as well. And 4. Good. 3. Nice and easy. 2. And 1. Coming back down to become parallel with the bottom leg, okay? So again, point the toes, so you're internally rotating on that top leg and go into hot potato. So you tap in front and you tap in back. Tap in front and tap in back. The emphasis here is what we're going to be really thinking about, the pulling down part, okay? Because the springs, the up part is easy, right? The springs want to help you and assist you. So I want you to focus on the down part. So you're really working through inner thigh. And nice and easy. Again, it's harder when you can't see yourself. So if you find yourself looking down, try not to. Try to keep your eyesight forward and your chest open. We have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's bring it all the way in and release that. Awesome. And then carefully go ahead and sit yourself up. And let's take it to a mermaid. Let's do a mermaid. I'm gonna go back top loaded here. And again, I'm just on a light spring. Super nice. And I'm gonna go into a nice zigzag position with my legs today. Right hand is on, left arm is up. Let's pull those ribs in and let's press down, reach up and over. Good. And then bring it back up. And I'm pause right here and then press and reach up and over. And bring it back up, hold, and then reach up and over. One more. Pause right here. Have tension, reach up and over. All right, and bring it back in. Take it to the other side. Okay, from here, let's go ahead, adjust that left hand into the center and reach up and come back in. Again, have tension, it's not going all the way up. So it's like your bicep is co-contracting with your tricep to keep it there. And beautiful. Lengthen over. 2. Last time. And releasing it. Excellent. All right, guys, let's finish it with some extension work. We're gonna go into spread eagle. So we're gonna stand on our tower here, all right? Such a nice extension exercise as well. So go ahead and I'm gonna move my light spring out of the way. I'm just gonna grab hold of the very top of the outside pulls, placing your toes at the very edge here, okay? So from this position, start towards your tower. And then I'm gonna have you guys start to drop into hanging like a low V position, all right? So you're extending the spine here. And it should feel nice as you just kind of decompress. And then you can feel a stretch maybe through the backs of your legs. And then you're gonna slowly, with straight arms, push your heels into the mat, squeeze your glutes, lift yourself so that you're coming up into extension, okay? And then you're gonna round, so draw your belly in and drop your chin down, and you're going right back into the drop. Good, let's do that 2 more times. And lift. You can even articulate your way up. Squeeze the top here, feel that upper back. And lower. Navigating this work with your abdominal muscles. Press, lift. Pull the hips forward more for a little bit more extension. And then slowly releasing it here. Good. And let's just go into a few roll downs. All right, so I'll actually just face this way. Let's bring our arms up towards the ceiling. Let's go ahead and take it down. Nice. If this feels unsteady to you, please do this on the floor. Exhale, restack your body. 1 vertebra at a time. Shoulder blades roll down. Last one, we bring our arms up. Take a dive down. And again, I'm such a huge fan of just ending and sealing the session with something instead of like, okay, we're ready to go, that was it. So that's why I always end with 2 standing roll downs. If you guys might notice that trend that I do. And roll those shoulders back. Beautiful job here, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it felt a little bit more intermediate. I have a lot of other fun things that we can do too. So if you like these tower workouts, I've been trying to put a lot more out there for you guys. Let me know. Hit a thumbs up so I know. Leave a comment that you guys want more tower workouts. Happy to do that. Again, if you guys are interested in learning more education tips, I do a lot of that over on Instagram at Vanessa Kelly Pilates. Come over there, say hi, let's hang out, learn a little bit more about Pilates and not just like the workout, but like just different foundational stuff, like different things about your journey, especially if you're an instructor. You'll learn a lot more things about that and where you're at in your journey. So love to have you guys. I will see you guys next Monday for another workout. Talk to you guys soon.